Okay, everybody, today let's talk about home networking and Wi-Fi in your home. So, why am I comfortable talking about networking and Wi-Fi? Well, so my background, I got my first associate's degree in automotive engineering from Greenville Tech many years ago. Sometime later on, I decided to do a career change because I always had a background in computers. A very long time ago, starting out in high school, I worked part-time at a computer shop. So I always had that interest. So I later on went back and I went to ITT Tech and I got an associate's degree in computer networking systems. From there, I went back to school again and I got a bachelor's degree from Kaplan University in cybersecurity and networking systems. So I have a little bit of a background in it. I've set up many networks for residential customers, people at home. I've set up a lot of small business networks, and I've worked at a lot of companies where I've installed complete networks and managed and been the administrator for the whole thing. So I have a little bit of knowledge about it. I still don't consider myself an expert. I mean, there's always new things to learn, new technologies, new things to deal with. But I've tried a lot of different wireless routers for my home. I think the most common thing that everybody does, you want wireless in your house, you drive to Best Buy, you pick up whatever brand they have there. You might pay $50 up to, I think the ones they sell there maybe like $200 and something might be the high-end ones. You can get a range of brands. Some of them have internal antennas, some have external antennas all over the place. Some of them look real cool, some of them are designed or say they're specific for gaming or do dedicated services. Some of them offer MIMO and all these other technologies. The main thing that you want to look at really is the distance that the Wi-Fi signal will carry, and then what band it'll carry on, and how many bands it actually has. So you really want to go 802.11 AC is the most current, which I'm looking for the newer IEEE release to come maybe next year if rumors are right. So we might get a new classification of wireless, but for right now you want 802.11 AC, and it's backwards compatible usually in all the wireless routers for older technologies you have. One of the main reasons that's important to me is because my son has a Nintendo 3DS handheld, and I believe it still works off of wireless G. So when I actually upped my entire network to only run on AC on the 5 gigahertz band, it would no longer work for my son's handheld, so I had to change it back. Anyway, so I've tried a lot of different wireless routers at home. You know, most of all, for what you get at Best Buy, those are going to be fine. The only reason I moved away from that type wireless router at my home is because my house is a fairly good size. I have upstairs and down. We have 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs. For me, it was the coverage that I would get. So I didn't want the wireless router just stuck in my living room or in the center of my house. So I brought all the cabling in and I put it in the basement. Well, what I had to deal with is any kind of, you know, when you have electrical run through your house and you have different things that create interference in that wireless signal, then you may get signal drops or loss in certain areas of your house. One of the main problems that we had is my wife and I, when we were in our bedroom on our phones, you know, at night, you know, looking through stuff, Facebook and all, well, we would find that some of our data was being used. And it was because we had it turned on and the phone's enabled, but if it wasn't getting a clear wireless signal, which it showed that it had a bar or two, so we thought it was fine, then it starts using some data to kind of, you know, pick up the slack there. So we were using up data when we thought we were just on our wireless and didn't even realize it. So I started doing some testing, and then I downloaded some testing apps. I used Wi-Fi Man and some other ones. I started testing the wireless signal. Well, I was only getting the 5 gigahertz band, which is going to be the 802.11ac and be the majority of your speed. I was getting that a very short distance away from my wireless router. I was probably only getting it through the walls and everything into upstairs. I was only getting it 15, 20 feet away, through all of that interference. And then that was the 5 gigahertz band. And then when I moved to the 2.4 gigahertz band, then I started getting reduced speeds. It would carry further, that's where my signal was coming from, but it wasn't as fast, and it was just causing some other issues. So it slowed things down. So when I wanted to do streaming, we have Apple TVs in every single bedroom and every TV. My son has his tablet, I have my tablet, we have our cell phones, my computer's wireless. I really didn't take the time to run networking cable all through my house. I've really kind of gone wireless for the most part. So it was a problem. So what I decided to do is some of the small businesses where I've added in wireless technologies, I went with one specific brand, and the main reason I did, in all my research, the brand has done really well. Actually, Anderson City, to my knowledge, uses this brand of networking equipment. The brand is called Ubiquiti. I love all of their products. They make commercial grade products as well as regular residential and consumer grade products. So what I recommend for people now is, that's fine, go ahead and get your wireless router, or just get a basic router at Best Buy or order one from Amazon. I can make some suggestions I'll put in the discussion on that. You don't have to go the full package from Ubiquiti unless you just want to. But if you already have maybe wireless in place, then you might want to add a Ubiquiti wireless access point, or maybe 2 of them in different sections of your house, and just increase the wireless coverage that you're getting throughout your house. So the size that my house is, I put up 3 different access points, and we'll say APs is what the standard is, or what they're called. So I have 1 access point in the back hallway towards my bedrooms, I have 1 in the living room, and then I have 1 outside towards the garage. I have 1 more that I'm actually going to install in the basement, so I'll have 4 total. That might be a little bit overkill. Do I really need 4 of them in my house? I mean, I know companies and buildings that are bigger than my house that have 2, No, I don't. I don't really need that. I can stretch out the 2.4 gig band everywhere and have coverage. But if I want that 5 gigs and a full signal on that, then that's what it takes when I did my wireless mapping. So the more of these access points you can kind of spread out, they work as kind of a mesh system as well. So they do handoffs with devices in between each other. And what that simply means is, whichever one of the access points your cell phone is closest to, it's going to pass it off to the other access point to get a stronger signal. So Ubiquiti does a pretty good job of that as well. So let me show you the ones that we use these at the company that I work for. I've installed them in other companies, and I'm now installing them in my house. This is the Unifi AP AC Pro. And let's see if you can see that, maybe. And I am going to put links to this stuff in the description. So like I said, I currently have 3 of these in my house. I will show you the locations where I have them currently mounted. But this is the new one that I bought to go in my basement. It's never been opened. I'll turn the camera around and we'll unbox this so you can see what you get. But you can use this independently from having actual buying a controller or anything. And what I mean by that is, you can go to Ubiquiti's website and download a software controller. It's just called the Unifi controller. And you can set it up on any of your computers, Mac or Windows or whatever. And you can control and set up that access point, or however many you decide to put in your house. So you can have your current wireless router, and if you know anything about that and can actually web interface into it, you can tell it to stop shooting out a wireless signal or turn the wireless part off of that. Then you can add in your Ubiquiti or Unifi access points, and you can enable them and let them take care of all your wireless stuff. You can set up all kinds of controls on it. You can set up different wireless networks through them, just a ton of features. I'll try to do a video that goes a little bit more in depth with that stuff a little bit later, if everybody would like. And like I said, leave discussions and comments in the discussion board. Talk about whatever, ask questions. I don't mind answering any questions. If you don't understand how to do it, then I might do a setup video or something if I have any demand for it. But anyway, I would highly recommend that if you want to expand your wireless signal in your house and cover all those dead spots, you walk around areas in your house and you lose your wireless connection at times, or it slows down, do this route. I think these things are about $135 a piece. That's not very bad, and I'll put a link in the description so you can order them through Amazon through my affiliate link, and I'll actually put on there the other networking equipment that I use in my house as well. Now I kind of have a whole Ubiquiti Unifi package. I use the hardware controller along with some other things. I actually use a switch and everything that they have. These things are powered by a little PoE box. It's power over Ethernet. So you get a box and you plug it in and put it in line when you set them up. So they're really easy to install. I actually have a switch that provides power over the cables, and I'll walk downstairs. I have all that in a closet in my basement, so I'll take the camera down there and show you exactly what I have set up and talk about it for a second. But I just kind of wanted to go over the basics, and you don't need all the stuff that I have. Mine is simplistic, but yet it's not simplistic. You can make it complicated or you can make it really easy. So let's just say you want to increase your signal. You take the wireless router that you have now in place and you just add one of these or maybe two of these to cover your whole house, and you just have to run cables from that wireless, from your current wireless router to the access points wherever you put them. Running cables not anything overly difficult. I mean, I really think anybody given the time, you can do it. So just spread those out, and then you'll have more coverage throughout your house. So I mean, it's something that works really well for me. The other option is using the Ubiquiti. Unifi makes a more of a residential line too. That's a mesh system. I'll put a link in that so you can take a look at it as well. I just installed one at my mother's house. I might carry the camera over there and just show you what that looks like and do a separate little video of it as well. But that might be a separate video altogether. But anyway, I'll take you down and show you what I have. Okay guys, and here's one, and like I said, this one, you can hide these things. This guy right here is tucked away in our linen closet at the end of our hallway. So I just tucked it up in there, and that covers all of our bedrooms. Alright, so the next access point that I have in my house is just mounted up simply in the corner in our main living area. And that provides our wireless connection to our Apple TV and all that type stuff, and our regular TV. Next is our charter cable modem. And then finally I have the Unifi Switch 16, which is 150 watt power over Ethernet. And then all of my cable. And then I just have this small rack mounted in the closet here. Okay, so I didn't show the third access point because I have that mounted outside, so I didn't walk out there just to show you that one, but I mean, you kind of get the gist of it. So I tried to make this video, I'm not aiming it towards professionals or anything, I'm just aiming it for the average homeowner that, you know, wants to have a decent wireless network in their house. So please let me know, you know, shoot me an email or comment. Let me know if you have any questions or if any of this didn't make sense or you want to know any more or anything else. I'll be glad to talk about it. But anyway, let's do an unboxing of this real quick. I'll try to get it all in the camera. If I can get this tab started. Another thing about Ubiquiti, and I don't know this to be 100% true, but this is what I've heard. Their packaging is extremely nice. It always is. I heard that one of the packaging people from Apple left Apple and went to Ubiquiti, and is why they have such nice packaging and all. It's always packed very well and neat and nice. Okay, so this guy is the access point itself. Really easy to mount. It just has this plate that turns and locks in place. So you mount this plate to your ceiling or wall, and then you just put a little hole, you know, in your ceiling wall wherever you run your cable, and run your networking cable. And it's got this, so these are indoor outdoor. You can't put it in direct rain, but overhangs and things like that are fine. So you can mount them outside. I've actually done that at some places. Then inside, you just plug your Ethernet cable in, and that'll give you your communications and your power. And let's see, what else do we have in the box? Oh, let's see, never have really even looked at these. Oh, different ways you can mount it. I guess you can order different brackets and things like that. So if you don't have a switch that provides actual power, then you'll have to use this guy. So you just want to come in with your connection here and plug this in, going directly to your router. And this port, the PoE, will actually go to your access point, and this will give you the communication from your router and add power to the line to power that unit up. And these are small and you can mount them wherever. And when you're running cable, keep in mind, the standard in networking is you can run RJ45 Ethernet cable for 300 feet, really without much interference or distortion there. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Usually you can run it anywhere in the house you want. Oh, it actually has other mounting brackets. I really hadn't even paid attention to this. I forgot it was in there, to be honest. And power cable. Okay, I'm sorry about the battery died in my camera. I wasn't watching the battery indicator. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to in this video. It actually went a little bit longer than I intended. I try to keep all of them short so they're not too painful to watch, and I hope you get some useful information out of them. But like I said, hit me up in the comments, you know, with any questions or anything that you might have. If you want to know any more about the products that I use, I'm going to put links to them so you can read about them, and the Amazon affiliate links in there too, so if you want to purchase any of this stuff. And I guess my next video I'll try to do one on the mesh system that I set up at my mom's house, and we'll ask her how she's liking it. Thanks for watching.